America's premier sports car series has come to Canada's most historic racetrack, Mosport. This daunting high-speed circuit outside of Toronto is the site of round 6 in the American Le Mans Series 2004 season. It's been a long, tough summer of racing. The teams are tired, worn out, and down to their last nerve.
Ralph, in the P1 category, it was the Dyson Racing team coming out on top for the 4th time in 6 races.
Pole position, James. Well done. Super job, mate.
The question now remains, can that team turn that top starting spot into the first victory of their 2004 season? Now, in the P2 category, the big news is the fact that the Buckingham Racing team have been forced to withdraw. Their Pilbeam Racing chassis continues to have a healthy appetite for cracking the engine block. That leaves us with a classic confrontation between the 2 title contenders, the number 10 Miracle Motorsports team, led by Englishman Ian James, going up against the number 30 Intersport Racing Lola, led by young American Clint Field.
My name's James Weaver. I'm driving Rob Dyson's number 16 Lola MG with Butch Leitzinger.
I'm Oliver Gavin. I drive a number 4 CompuWare Chevrolet Corvette, and my teammate is Olivier Beretta.
Hi, I'm Clint Field from Dublin, Ohio, driving the number 30 Marquis Financial Lola B2K40 Judd. I'll be driving with Robin Liddell this weekend.
Lonnie Pechnick, Flying Lizard Motorsports, car 44, co-driving with Seth Nyman.
Watch the start.
We're green. Very tricky corner here.
Lead car Dyson Racing on Goodyear tires. Again, they are not as fast to warm up as the Michelins on the Audi. Right away, you see Werner challenge with the Michelin shot Audi R8. Here he is down this ultra fast turn 2.
So far, everybody getting through the first couple of corners smooth, and that can be a real challenge here at Mosport.
It's going to be critical that I think the Audi has to keep pressure on the little Dyson Lola up ahead. Now that car, the blue and white car in the lead, is lighter than the Audi that follows. The horsepower is very comparable, but on a track like this where you're only at this one slow corner, the Lola, the little Lola MG, is blindingly fast, as we saw yesterday in qualifying.
Remember, we've got 4 different classes of cars competing in one big race today, so you'll be seeing a wide variety of shapes and sizes of vehicles racing around this 2.5-mile, 10-turn road course. And we hear one car has lost its hood. There it is.
Oh, no, that again.
The Panos.
They are having such bad luck. This is a brand new race car this year. They're really trying to develop it. We're probably going to get a look here back at the start of the race. Let's just watch maybe back in the pack. There it goes.
There it goes.
Right off the start. You know what? I would venture that somebody forgot to put the hood pins in that thing. Let's take a look back at the GTS battle. Here we're on board the CompuWare Corvette. He's looking ahead at his own teammate. Now that's something they like to do. They like to be able to see their own teammate around and know they're running at the 1-2 position.
You're riding with Johnny O'Connell, and he is chasing, as you said, Bill, his teammate, Oliver Gavin, right now. And the 4 car, which is a car in front, car number 4, has been the quicker car all season long, but it has not had the luck that the 3 car has had.
Looking back here again, this is now the car leading the P2 class. This the number 10 car.
And this car is actually back out on the track, Bill. It had come off the racetrack. It started on pit road, and Ian James is behind the wheel of this car right now, and he'll be sharing driving duties today with John Macaluso and James Goulet today. 3 drivers will climb behind the wheel of this machine. Right now running second in P2. This is the smaller of the prototype divisions.
Yeah, these cars run with no turbochargers. They're a lot more cost efficient.
Calvin Fish with more on the number 10.
Well, the reason that Ian James had to start from the pit lane, they changed their driver lineup. Initially, it was going to be James Gouet starting the number 10 machine, but Ian is actually going to jump on a helicopter out of this racetrack once he's done with his driving stint and compete in another event down at Mid-Ohio later this afternoon. So they needed to change the driver lineup. The rules do not allow you to do that and maintain your starting position.
There's been a tremendous battle going on in the smaller GT category, one of the 4 classes racing here today in Mosport with the American Le Mans Series. And that's Lonnie Pechnick in the red and silver Flying Lizard car. And this is the battle. Now look at this. Here comes Mark Lieb around the outside in the number 24, and he takes the lead away in GT. That was at the end of the very long. Oh, man, look at that. During the replay, he's got big problems. Mark Lieb, a huge lover of history, might be history here today. Let's see what happened to this car, Bill.
Definitely will not win. It's the bottom of turn 2.
Oh,
wow.
Man, that's a big impact. And you can see his head inside the car moving forward.
And once again, that number 44 car, the Flying Lizard car, is back in the lead. but Mark Lieb's teammate now, right there behind him. He has taken up the battle.
The championship leader, Ian James, in the P2 category was forced to pit. Low battery voltage on that Lola Nissan. And as James Guay got behind the wheel, they did a driver change at that point, went to refire, would not refire. They lost 2 laps in the pits, changing the battery, but the team is back underway. Only 2 cars in that field today, so they need to finish, get 70% race distance to score points today. I understand the 37 car has been having problems. For more on that, let's go down to Brian Till.
Well, indeed, Calvin, you know, John Field and his Intersport team brought their Lola back after sitting out the last 2 races. While the carbon fiber chassis on that car was repaired, it had a crack in it. They did the repair to the chassis itself, but as he brought it out here this weekend, they continued to struggle with handling, and now they think they have an issue in the rear suspension.
Oh, and look at this, the leader in P1, James Weaver, on to pit lane.
Well, this is a surprise. We didn't expect this team in for 5 or 6 laps. James Weaver has reported he has a flat spot on one of the front tires. Huge vibration at these high speeds they reach around Mosport. Means the team have to come in. There you see the team going to work. They're refueling first, and now they're going to do a tire change. And James Weaver has really been pulling yeoman's duty this weekend. Butch Leitzinger has done a double duty race. Been racing down in another area of the country this weekend, so it's been James with the majority of the time behind the wheel. That Weaver pit stop was not the most lightning stop we've seen this year, so if the champion boys can do a quick one, maybe they can close that gap. Marco Werner had really lost a lot of ground during the end of that stint there, so JJ certainly has some work on his hand, and that little Dyson Racing Lola has been fast all year, but this is the first event that's really had none of those niggly problems come up, and there's going to be a real battle today.
Now, where is Weaver? Here he comes.
Right there.
And he's going to retake the lead away. But you know what, Bill? Oh, that champion crew did a tremendous job. They had been, what, 15 seconds behind before the pit stops began. And now, even though they're back to second, they have shortened that gap tremendously. And here's GT. There's your GT leader. And the car that you expected to see up front is the brand new leader.
David Murray, like I said earlier, he has been very, very happy about the improvements in this car. They were taking a lot of chances with ride height adjustments. They said they hit on one combination. They were very pleased with it.
And the Porsche 911 is not an easy car to figure out how to race quickly. And here's how he took the lead. It took place while we were watching the pit stops with the Audi and the Dyson car. Well, 3 wide on the front stretch, Bill.
Yeah, and there's David. Now, David just slots the car right up the inside going down into turn 1. This is probably 110, 115 mile an hour area. The outside car right there, that's the Alex Job car. He has to get way off the throttle or he's going to run off the road.
And here we are looking at the leader pitting, and this is a scheduled stop. James Weaver is in. He's climbed out of the car. Butch Leitzinger behind the wheel now, Calvin.
Well, a superb double stint there by James Weaver. He's turned it over to Butch, and this is one of the problems with this car. Can they get it refired? Yes, they do. So this will really put a smile on this crew's face, because that has been a niggly problem with this little AER engine.
Now, James Weaver had been driving that car, as you heard, through 2 stints. And boy, he had a couple of near misses as he was doing everything he could to hang on and keep JJ behind him. This was near pit road as one of the GT Porsches, the number 60, almost got in the way. The Tony Burgess Piers Maserati car. Now watch this one.
Now look at this, almost right off the road. All 4 wheels, bangs it over the curb, and somehow, just by great driving, is able to avoid that 44 car.
And Bill, one of the key elements of this form of racing is if you can double stint those tires, and with the champion Audi struggling for grip out there, that may really determine this final pit stop. If JJ was able to pit, just do fuel only and save that tire change time in pit lane, that could keep him the lead. So the champion boys are looking at it, they're talking to JJ on the radio. They have to make a very important decision right now. And this is going to be critical. Staying on that same set of tires. We said that JJ looked smoother, but we certainly talked about the pickup. He should maintain the lead, Ralph. Are those tires going to be good enough to hold off Butch Leitzinger?
And that's really going to be interesting to see, too, Bill, because the track temperature is at least 20 to 30 degrees hotter today than it's been all weekend. Butch Leitzinger storming down the Martin straightaway right now.
Yeah, so definitely JJ will keep the lead because he'll be heading down into the top of turn 2 right now, and Butch is basically just starting onto the front. There he is. That's going through turn 2.
Olivier Beretta behind the wheel of the lead Corvette. Ron Fellows, a teammate, the local driver, closing in from nearby Toronto. And talking to Doug Feehan, the team manager for Corvette, he says, you know, Oliver and Olivier should have won some races already this year. They've been very fast. They've led almost at every one of the events this season, but they've got to be smarter and keep their mistakes to a minimum. That's what's cost them.
I agree. It really comes down to the intelligence of the two drivers, both Ron Fellows and Johnny O'Connell. They have been so good in that car in exercising patience.
Now that was GTS. Let's show you what's going on in the GT class right now. And Timo Bernhard out front in the number 23. McKenna Porsche-backed entry. Now, of course, he took the lead during the pit stops that we saw, Bill. That's where we saw pit road making the difference here today.
Pretty dramatic, too. Craig Stanton took over for David Murray. And even though Craig is running lap times about the same as Timo, I think that Timo Bernhard has just been able to get through traffic a lot more cleanly. That has stretched out a really substantial lead, something around 20 seconds right now. So they're almost getting to the point of being in cruise mode.
And the 20 car. Now this is the sister car to the Dyson machines. And this is Andy Wallace, Calvin.
Yeah, and they've gone a lap down, but Andy is certainly on form right now. He's had a lot of great results over the last couple of months. A little disappointing. They want to be a bit more in the thick of the battle here today, but Chris Dyson did lose a little bit of time on that first stint.
Well, to update people on a tire situation, JJ Leto in that 38 ADT champion car is complaining bitterly to the crew. He wanted tires when they made the stop. The crew said, no, the tires are fine, leave them on. And since leaving the pits, JJ's called in a couple of times saying he is not happy about the decision. He feels that he should have new Michelins on the ADT car. Oh no, Leto!
The Audi is in the wall.
Leto.
That's at the top of the hill.
No, that's a Moss corner. That's down at the hairpin. He's backing it out.
Now, where's Leitzinger? Because he was only about 10 seconds behind.
He would be passed. Guarantee he's gone past. Just couldn't get the car slowed down. Look at the front wheel. Too late, but you could see it was turned. The car was pushing. He was unable to stop that car.
Well, Bill, I'm down in pit lane, and I'm looking at this left front. It is definitely down. So whether that was a result of the impact with the tire wall or it went down and caused JJ to go off, I'm not sure right now. But there's a fresh set of Michelins on, and they're going to need a yellow to get back in the battle here today.
Oh, and we've got the Panos off course.
Turn 2.
And another car involved with him, a Porsche.
Here's the onboard. Okay, now he's going to go wide. Gunner. Oh, Gunner just hit him. Man.
Down with the 63 car, Johnny Molam has made it to pit lane. You can see the problem. The left rear tire has basically lost all its air, guys. You can still, it's on the rim. It's tucked up underneath it. It obviously folded up underneath it, going through Moss corners down there. There you can see the tire rolled up on the wheel. They'll have to put a new wheel and tire on. The question is there any suspension damage? The crew checks it. They don't see any, and they'll go with a new Pirelli on the left rear of this Soleil.
Gavin leads in the 4 car. But Johnny O'Connell, his teammate, right behind him as the Corvette team has a tremendous inter-squad scrimmage here this afternoon. And this battle has closed into about a car length as we work our way towards the finish.
You know, yesterday I had such an interesting chat with Johnny, and he was telling me about how when he joined the Corvette team, he was coming in with the established star, Ron Fellows. And he was aware that, yes, there'd be a certain time when he would have to adapt and get to be loved and admired by the crew. But he said it was his first time at Mosport, where Ron Fellows literally grew up racing. And he got out in this car and raced it and was just as fast as Ronnie. And he said suddenly the crew respected him right after that.
We see the GT leader on pit road now, Cal.
Well, I think most of the GT runners are going to need a splash of fuel here, Ralph. Less than 15 minutes to go. And the question then will be tires. This is going to cost them time in pit lane. They're going to the rear. Are they going to do fronts? Timo Bernhard behind the wheel. He went to a softer tire compound on the last run to curse him understeer. So that's the decision. Rear tires only. Timo Bernhard's back underway.
Wow, I think that's a huge gamble for them to do that, because that took that extra 8 or 10 seconds to put tires on. Can they make it up in just this small amount of time left? I don't think so.
And the 31 is in. The GT class leader is in.
There's the final stop, and you see no tires.
That pit stop would Stanton actually put Timo Bernhard in front, but not by much. So the McKenna-backed Porsche, the Alex Job Racing team right there. Timo Bernhard out in front in GT, but only by about 3 seconds, just under 4 seconds.
Well, he's had his cup of tea, James Weaver, and now we look at the very familiar nose and hairline of James Weaver. We're going to try and interrupt him here. James, I know you've had a lot of work to do.
What, me? You must be joking, mate. I'm having a brilliant time.
You boys have been so close. You had a fast car all year long, and finally today it looks like you're in with the shout.
That's the sort of thing Murray Walker would say, and then it would expire in a cloud of smoke, mate.
I'll try not to hit you in the head.
Oh, thank you.
Talk about the fact how thrilled you are to drive this type of race car around a racetrack like Mosport. You're just unbelievable.
Well, what's amazing, you watch our car on television, and it looks how it feels. It is just planted. It is just absolutely glorious to drive around here. It really is. But the old Audi's jumping and leaping around all over the place. Our little jewel is just painted to the track. It's fantastic.
The Dyson team came here this weekend saying, we have expected to win a couple of races this year. It didn't go our way. This was one of the ones we had circled on our calendar. We feel the pressure to get the win here this weekend, and they have done it. Coming off the final corner on the front straightaway, Butch Leitzinger and James Weaver in the Dyson machine win the Toronto Grand Prix of Mosport.
And JJ Leto, the champion ADT car, will cross the finish line second place and down by 16 seconds.
And just in front of him was Clint Field in the 30 car, which takes the P2 victory. Here's the battle in GTS coming all the way to the line. The inter-squad scrimmage in Corvette. Can Ollie Gavin hold off Johnny O'Connell for the last couple of corners and get the win that they've been denied so far this year?
You see that Johnny is not giving up here. He's coming right down the last two.
Well, Doug Feehan, the team manager, said, boys, you got to stop making mistakes. They haven't made any today. And Ollie Gavin and Olivier Beretta are going to get the win, their second of the year, as they had also won at Lime Rock.
Butch, what a performance. The team has come so close to victory this year, and you finally get the monkey off your back.
Oh, everyone just did a perfect job, and I really think that they should sign the deed over of Mosport to James, because he owns this place. He just absolutely ruled the beginning of the race, and I just tried to hang on.
Well, Jörg Bergmeister and Timo Bernhard, GT class winners, and guys, I know it was a fantastic race, especially early on. Timo, we'll talk to you first, or Jörg, we'll talk to you first, they say back in the truck. Hard to stand here and watch at the end. Would you rather be in the car or stand in and watch it?
Yeah, I think it's easier to drive if it's so close and exciting, so it was really good fun. And I had some pretty good fights at the beginning with the 31 and the 44 car. It was good fun today, definitely. And the team did an awesome job in the pit stop, so thank you for that.
I'm with Ollie Gavin, and Gavin, you guys have come so close so many times. Bad luck. What was it what was it today that made you win this race?
Well, I think we just got out the front right from the get-go, and Johnny was pushing hard, but managed to put a little bit of time into him after the first stint, and then Olivier drove a great second stint, and then when I got back in the car, I had something like a 7-second lead, but Johnny was coming really, really hard.
With Rob and Liddell, since you joined this team, you've gone unbeaten, 4 wins, superb run today.
Well, it's just a shame I wasn't with them at Le Mans, because they won Le Mans as well, but no, we've had 4 wins out of 4 straight races now. And the car and the team have performed absolutely faultlessly along with Pirelli tires. So, you know, right now we seem to have a winning combination. Let's hope we can just keep it up.